Alright, so I'm going to show you some basic whoa lessons. This is Reese. He's a 6-year-old male GSP. And he knows a lot of things. We're just using him as an example. He hasn't been worked today yet, so I'll just transition from this into his lessons. But anyway, so one thing, this is a 3/8 inch wide check cord. It's a little heavier. This is the, there's several names for it. There's several brands out there, but Tough Flex is one that is common, and it basically doesn't get tangled up real easily like the ropes do, or even some of the others. And anyway, this is a 30 foot. I would recommend starting with a 20 foot, but I mean, you can even start shorter than that. You know, I'm probably at the 12 or 15 foot mark here. Of course, if you have a longer one, you can always just, you know, work your way, you know, closer to the dog with it, and then gradually work to the end of it, rather than buying 2 check cords. So I don't have anything on his waist. I don't have a prong collar on him. Now, some guys will put an e-collar on the flank, and I don't want to get in a big discussion about that, because it could be an all-day debate that never finds an end. But anyway, I personally don't like it. I've tried it, don't like it. Some dogs are just soft. They're more sensitive. Now, you may have a more stubborn dog, and perhaps that would be the right tool to use for it, but for a lot of dogs, it may not be the right tool. You know, it's good to have multiple tools in your toolbox, and then you take out the right wrench to fit the bolt in front of you. So, you know, you could use a pair of pliers to get a bolt out. You could use a 10 millimeter wrench to potentially get a 3/8 inch bolt out. But everything works better if you have the right tool for the job. So, you know, the e-collar flank, it's a tool. I don't use it, haven't needed to use it, even on tough, stubborn, hard-headed dogs. I just haven't needed to. And I would suggest don't do it, simply because e-collars, there's just, I'm not against the e-collar. It has its place, but there are just times that it can be too much. And if it's done incorrectly, you can really mess your dog up or set yourself back with your training. And this ought to be a good whoa lesson, because he's amped up, he's ready to go. So anyway, end of all that, just don't use the e-collar on the flank. Maybe your dog is a strong-willed dog. Maybe it would do fine with it, but why risk it when there's other methods? Just don't even take the chance. Back to the check cord. You know, this is a 3/8. They sell a 1/2 inch wide as well. It's much lighter weight. It's thinner. Of course, it's not as wide either. I use that one for puppies or for dogs that are just really sensitive to dragging something behind them. So if they're older and haven't been leash conditioned yet, it's very lightweight. It's minimal impact. This is much heavier, but it's also a lot harder, or a lot easier to hold on to for a dog that is going to be pulling a lot. So I start all the dogs that I do whoa with, I start them all the same way. I let them get out there ahead of me a little bit, and then Reese, whoa, whoa. Basically, I'm just calling the command, and I'm just giving it just a tug. I'm not yanking hard, not being cruel, not choking him. I'm not, you know, having a battle of the wheels. He's not, you know, lunging off in one direction with me trying to hold on. And of course, at some point, we're going to transition whoa means you stop until I release you. So, you know, him running off like that, obviously his whoa training isn't complete, but so he's probably a good dog to show this on. You know, he's been whoa trained to a degree, but it's just not solid in him, and it's probably been a while since he had some of the training. So, you know, it's a good refresher, and he's a very hard driven dog, so he'll be a good one to use for this lesson. Reese, come here. Good boy. All right, good boy. So I'll let him get out a little ways. Whoa! Have him stop. Now, whoa! Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. He was kind of running off to the side. It's a little easier to do this without holding the phone in one hand, but basically, a lot of these dogs, what they will do is, some of the first lessons a lot of dogs get taught is to heel. You know, people start obedience work with puppies, which I agree with that to a degree. Obedience is necessary, but there's a certain amount of obedience that can hinder them in the field, and heeling is one of those things. Now, if you can get your dog out there and they understand the difference when it's time to hunt versus when it's time to heel, okay, great. But what happens is a lot of dogs, they are out there, you know, following their noses, they're developing their senses. Puppies, their attention span is about 2 seconds. Whoa! Now, I don't have this problem with Reese. Whoa! But what they will often do is these dogs that have been conditioned to heel from an early age, basically, and people don't realize this, they have been unknowingly teaching their dog to... Easy, boy. Whoa. There's a vulture flying away. Whoa! Whoa, Reese. Good boy. Whoa. Okay, Reese. Okay. Just release him, let him relax for a second. These dogs will... lost my train of thought. What happens is they get conditioned to learning not to follow their nose. And so a dog that is taught from an early age to heel, and the owner, they yank on the leash, they tell it no, they call it back to them, they fuss at it every time the dog gets away from their side. Well, those dogs, they don't want to get out there and hunt because they're going to get punished, or they've had an e-collar used on them, and they're just following their natural instincts. And so what happens is they get confused. They don't understand, you know, everything in them says, I need to go do this, but I get in trouble if I do this. So they get conditioned to where they don't leave your side. And so what happens on the whoa lessons with these dogs is they will very often, because part of their conditioning, when you whoa them, they immediately return to you. And so, now Reese doesn't have that issue. Now, he's just coming to me now just because. But they will often come to you because they understand if they come to you, they don't get in trouble. Heel is a place of praise, happiness. Owner is happy. I don't get in trouble. I'm not getting yanked on. I'm not getting shocked. I'm not getting yelled at. It's just like a dog sitting down on point or laying down on point. They're trying to take that pressure off because they've been taught to sit or to lay down at an early age. And when they didn't do it, you know, they got fussed at. They got in trouble. So if you're shocking a dog to make it be steady, they will often resort to one of these things. And the same thing with the whoa lessons. They're trying to take the pressure off themselves. And so they will do these behaviors to eliminate that pressure, and they're resorting back to what they already know, what they've been conditioned to, that will, you know, put them in good graces with the handler. So what you do